the screen still, or can you see the screen still?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. Perfect. Well, welcome. We're doing it. Thank you for your patience, technical difficulties.
Yes, thank you.
You know. So yeah, so this is your first I got both eyes here just so you see them. The picture you took with your right iris is just a lot clearer than your left iris, so we'll probably do most of this on your right. They are different. Obviously, both of the eyes are like mirroring the body. So like the right eye is talking about the right kidney, the right adrenal, the right lung, the right side of the brain, all those things. So we will go over both eyes. It's just gonna be like a short 20-minute in-depth. Don't hesitate to just stop me and say, hey, that doesn't make sense or anything like that. Just feel free to interrupt me at any time. And yeah, so we can get started just with you and having just a few details just about your life, just very general, just age, kind of health, life, what are you up to, what are your some background, just enough to eating.
Yeah, so I'm 32. I have 2 kids. My son is 2 years old. He'll be 3 soon. Thank you. My daughter is 6. I've been vegetarian on and off for probably 10 years. I did it for a couple years at a time, and then I kind of went back to a more traditional diet, and then I tried to do just a plant-based for a while, which is what I'm trying to get back towards.
Great.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we're all doing the best we can. This isn't about labels. This isn't about, being vegan or, being fruit, all that stuff. It's just, I want to help bring clarity on, the health situation, and iridology to me is just the best tool for understanding what's going on inside the body. So just helps just to kind of connect the dots here from what I see in the eye to what you're actually experiencing. Because a lot of this, to be honest, is passed on from genetics and our family. And then it's kind of like we're all doing the best we can to work with that. And then continue to detoxify and clean up our body and our habits so we can pass on positive energy to our kids and further generations. So that's how I look at all this, and it's a very holistic approach. It's not just what you're eating, it is very much your lifestyle, stress, relationships, job, the whole thing. So, and we're not going to get into the whole thing here. I don't want to overwhelm you. Just want to do a real short kind of in-depth reading on just your iridology to kind of bring clarity on your situation.
Okay, awesome.
So cool. So to start out a little bit about iridology, the biggest thing that I see is definitely adrenal and kidney weakness, and that's with everybody. So the kidneys and adrenals are tied together, and this all stems from the lymphatic system. I just want to show you this image real quick, because there's more lymph fluid than there is blood in the body, and this is like the sewer system.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is a huge thing that people really don't think about as far as what's going on in the body. We're all focused on blood and getting blood tests, and all that stuff is fine, but the lymph system is really where we're moving the waste out of the body. So, the tonsils, the spleen is the largest lymph node. The thymus right here is the regulating gland, and all of these systems throughout your entire body are removing waste. So, detox is just that, removing the waste from our body. And when I see, eyes and iridology, all it is accumulated waste because the lymphatic system cannot drain. It's just like any sewer system. When it gets backed up, things start, getting irregular. So that's all this is. And we all have very common symptoms that we're dealing with because of our modern lifestyle too. So you could have the perfect diet in the world and it wouldn't matter because we really need to address it again on like a holistic level as far as what's happening in the body.
Right.
So I just do, just a little more background, and then we'll go into the actual reading itself. That's the biggest thing, is just understanding the lymphatic system so you can speed this up as far as how to detox without giving you any specific herbs or anything like that. I'm just going to do like a real vague, general how to kind of speed up your detox pathways. It's the 4 things that we do every single day. We breathe, our conscious breathing through our stool, urine, sweat. Those are the 4 ways that we got to get this stuff out of us, right? Just curious before we start, how about your growing up, any antibiotic use or any
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times, but probably a few at least.
I just bring that up because that's like the biggest thing that's detrimental to our health is antibiotics and drugs and chemicals, you know. So pharmaceuticals, chemicals, antibiotics, all this stuff, that's like by far the most damaging thing to our health. So that's usually what I see the most, and they come up as like really black deposits. You don't have any of those, thankfully. It's just one of those things that, like, you know, you're a kid and you didn't know any better. Your parents didn't know any better.
Right.
And we're all doing the best we can. So none of this, you know, I want to really be conscious of my language because it's not about, you know, weakness or making you feel bad or anything like that. This is really to bring clarity and more light into your life so you can target this and really address what's going on. So let's get into it. First of all, what color eyes do you think you have right now? What color do you think your eyes are?
Everyone thinks that I have brown eyes.
Yeah.
But I've noticed from years ago, looking in the mirror, there seems to be a lot more like gray, and then there's brown around the pupil.
Yes, I would say you have blue eyes. And I'm going to tell you that because if you look, I'm going to show you on Google Images here. This is what your eye looks like behind all of what I call the clouds. So look at these pictures. This picture right here is another blue eye, and this is what your eye kind of looks like right now. So,
right.
So you can see.
So my question is, I mean, a lot of that could be from just when I was in the womb, right?
Oh, even.
I mean, because I know that my mom smoked when she was pregnant with me.
Sure, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm talking 7 generations. So your mom, your grandpa, your
right, right.
We can only, you know, we only know so much. That's why the more details you know, and you know, I picked my parents' brains so much and like learned so much because we can only target what we can here in this life. And yes, you're correct. What's going on in the womb, the environment, your parents' parents is what you got right now. But that doesn't mean it can't change. That's just something you need to know to help bring clarity so you can address it, okay? That's just the first thing I want to bring up because as you start taking more pictures of your eyes and doing this, you're going to see more light come through like you're talking about with this gray, this brown, this orange color. Like this is what I call the clouds. So if we start on your eye right here, you can see the fibers. You see them in detail back there, but you have these clouds, right?
Yeah.
Doctors like to call them lesions like this in here. These are what's called lesions. And when they get deep like that, that just shows you where the toxicity is built up, meaning the lymphatic system is behind, it's not doing its job in that part of the body. That's all it is. So the answer is always going to be the same thing, which is speeding up the lymphatic system, getting your herbs, you know, the kidneys filtering. That's what's going to speed this up to clear all of the waste out again through the lymphatic system, this highway that we get all the waste out of our body. So that's really what I want to start with. And I usually start with like the most severe and then going into the most gradual things as far as what's going on in your body. So, so like I mentioned with these lesions, right? So the darkest one is right up here at 12 o'clock. You see that one, right? And if we call up the map, you see this is your basically a map that just tells us every part of the body. And you're going to see me kind of going like this a lot. And I can fade it just in between like that. And it can tell you exactly where this is going on in the body. So just as a vague thing, this is like the head and going down to the feet at the lower. So you have a lot of just upper, you know, head, brain, lymph stagnation, basically. And dark lesion right here is in the pituitary gland. So that's the master right here in the brain. Keeps both like sides of the brain firing correctly. And again, that just means the lymphatic system in that part of the brain is working really hard to get waste out. So you might have some mental, you know, fog and thoughts and things like that. That's what's going on in your brain right there. So that would say that's just again the deepest lesion, like number 1. And then this one right over here at 3 o'clock is pretty deep. This is your voice box, your thyroid. I can tell through your talking a little bit. You have a little, you know, like a hoarse kind of dry throat going on. And that just comes from, again, general stagnation of the lymphatic system and the thyroid in particular. So don't let any of this alarm you. It's something that can be easily addressed as long as you target the system itself. So when you have this, you really can get into, let's see. Yeah, you see how the thyroid is like right next to it? See that picture? But this is in particular in your voice box. So it's actually probably what you said from your mom and smoking through that that probably happened with your mom in her lifetime, and then you inherited that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Down below it is the esophagus and scapula. You can see, I mean, I'm not going to go over every single one of these, but you can see how many lesions there are, you see? And what happens is everything, just to show you this map, everything is starting right here in the colon usually because of gravity in the GI tract. And then the colon is what really starts to like get signals out to the rest of the body. So meaning if you see how all of this starts like in the middle and it goes out like this, like they're lines that are going out to the other parts of your body from the colon, because you have a lot of nerve endings and intestines, like in your intestines, small intestines, colon. So when the lymphatic system gets backed up there, it's just sending signals to the other parts of the body. So even if this is right on your voice box, this really stems from just a backed up colon and GI tracts. Just think of it like that. Even though it's like we're talking about the brain, even though we're talking about the lung or something like that, a lot of this stems from what we eat in the GI tract, because again, things get backed up and the colon is just not doing what it needs to do to get all that waste. So a lot of this is just accumulative. It's not stuff that happens overnight. These dark lesions like this take years to form. So none of this happened overnight. So your big 1, 2, 3 right there is pituitary. Your number 2 is the voice box. And then judging by the severity, it would be right over here in this one. And I'm only saying that because of the size of it.
Yeah.
So these are all like the same depth, meaning the lymphatic system is working hard in this area of the body. So this is the lower part of your body: groin, pelvis, uterus, kidneys down in here. This is your spine. And you almost have lesions in every part of that, but they're not, they're in varying degrees. So again, that means your lymphatic system is just working extra hard. So we need to stay hydrated and really get things moving in the body. Let's call up this thing right here. It's your lungs. So that bigger one right here is your upper lung. So that pretty much pairs with what we were talking about with your voice box, and all that stuff. So, and again, this is your right eye. So this is the right lung. So just keep that in mind.
Gotcha.
Let's jump.
I did. I mean, when I was a teenager, I smoked for a few years as well.
Yeah, totally. And it takes, like I said, years. You're 31. I mean, I did it when I was a teenager as well. I mean, I'm still detoxing all the stuff I did as a kid, and my, parents, and it's something that that motivates me, to detox and to eat more fruit and to, really be on top of my game. So I hear you. And so let's see, the left eye here is almost mirroring exactly what we talked about. So you see this dark lesion on the top, same thing. It's right there in the pituitary gland. Same exact thing. So that's your number 1, the brain, and that's the firing, the pituitary is really important because it just connects the 2 hemispheres of the brain. And the same thing on the bronchioles right here. On this bigger 2, you got really 2 big ones right here, and it's the same thing in the left lung. And the only other thing that's different is this dark one right here that's really deep. And that's in the bronchioles. It looks like you have another one in the voice box, which is big, but it's not as dark. When they're dark like this, that's the deep. You can tell it's done a lot of, it's like a pathway that's been eroding, right? Because your nerves and the lymph, think of the tubes themselves, are just being worked so hard that they're basically shutting down, and when they shut down, that's when the backed up thing happens. That's when the toxins, and you got to think you have 6 billion cells that need to excrete waste, and it's simply not happening in these parts of the body. So you got to really speed up the waste. So that means sweating. That means conscious breathing. That means, drinking hydration, really quality, spring water. Ideally fruits is what you want to do, just because the fruit has the best water, organically grown fruit, of course. And the only other thing that I want to bring up as your top 3, the big things of iridology are your skin is the outside, is your circulation. So you definitely have a large skin ring, which just means your skin is not filtering. That's probably why you can't sweat as much as you'd like, even if you were in a hot environment.
Okay. Well, and I have been experiencing a lot of issues with my skin on my face.
Yeah. Well, you got to think too, the only way out is through. So this is going to happen because your lymphatic system is getting waste out right now.
Right.
The vegetarian diet and what you're talking about, the more you probably go in these phases because you're detoxing hard right now, girl. You are really detoxing hard. And what happens is this takes a lot of willpower and emotional strength. And when you go through these phases where you're on the vegetables, you're doing fruits, you're feeling good, you're going to get this wave of detox symptoms that are going to overwhelm you. And it's going to show as irritability, acne. It's going to show as pains. It's going to show as, movements maybe in your groin or lungs. And it's going to hurt. It's got to come out.
Right.
So that's the thing. A lot of people, you have to learn to embrace that and really, meditate and be calm and have a practice that really resonates with you so you can actually get through this. Because a lot of people, you can have the fruit, you can have the best diet, but if you don't have the willpower and the determination, then this isn't going to, work long term.
Yeah.
That's sustainable for the rest of your life. So embrace the acne, embrace all that. You don't need to fixate on any of that because that's proof that what you're doing is working. So because the thing is, if you have, like for me, I know it's hard and I don't want you to compare or anything. I'm just saying for me, let's say if I eat something that triggers me, it'll immediately be a pimple. See what I mean? Because that's my body just working that out. And
right.
I don't have that much to just get out all the time. So I just get occasional pimples because I'm really on top of my diet. But for someone like yourself, it's going to happen 24/7 for years, possibly, until you get to a point where it plateaus. And that means your skin has to be breathing. So I would be doing a lot of oil washing and dry brushing of the skin is what I would be doing, because that's going to help speed up this lymphatic system. You have the most lymph nodes in your neck here and the armpits and underneath the breasts. I don't know why I'm doing this with my body. I could be showing you right here.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. I was looking at you anyways.
But you see, this is the pathway right in here. So there's a lot of lymph that needs to get moved out through the upper circulation of your body itself. So that's your top three. Again, I don't want to overwhelm you and I don't want to give you too much right now, but that's definitely your top three. The pituitary gland, working over the voice box, the lungs. That's just the biggest thing that you need to address right now. If I were you, I'd be the eucalyptus oil is amazing to get in the sauna or just that sweat routine, because that's going to help purify your lungs and get that moving out of your body. And of course,
so just like essential oils.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eucalyptus is the best for opening up the lungs and getting that stuff out. And you're going to feel it. Like I said, you're going to cough. You're going to, let it happen. A lot of people, just like I said, haven't learned to embrace these detox symptoms. There's a big difference between like a detox headache and a tension headache, right? So you're going to feel this. You're going to feel these toxins coming out. The good news is, I can tell you that you're semi-filtering, like the way I look at this is like your organs are either filtering or they're not. And it's like between 1 and 100% as far as operation, like function. Are they even functioning? So you can tell with your eyes. I can show you too what it kind of looks like over time. Like this is on Google Images, okay? Like this eye right here is almost as bad as it gets.
Wow.
Okay. And you see these rings here? That you don't have any of these, but that's your cholesterol and nerve rings that come up when your body's completely shut down. This is a blue eye, okay? And that's what I'm trying to.
That's crazy.
Yeah. See, this is what happens through years of toxicity. And just to show you something like this, see those fibers? And then you see all these clouds that we're talking about. It's the same thing. Same thing. Right. So you can see the layers. So here's your eye right here, and those beautiful fibers are there. And they're nice and straight, which means you have good genetics. You got good genes way back. They're there. These clouds are covering up this beautiful blue sky. And the nerve rings are not there, but this is the next phase of toxicity. You can almost see them, but they're not there yet. They're not there. I'm just bringing that up because, again, that's the last phase is this right here. And you see all these lines going in and out. This is a professional picture, by the way. So that's like a really high quality picture. And this, I would see even more details. I can tell just by the camera that you're using. You don't have those rings, but the skin is definitely backed up. And those top three is what you need to address right away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely the eucalyptus oil.
Yes.
And then, because I know I actually just started. I'm going to be working with a friend of mine who's a health coach.
Mm-hmm.
So we've already started talking about rebounding for the lymphatic system.
Exactly.
Yeah, lots of fruits and lots of water and things like that.
And it's going to be a matter of you and what you're in tune with your body and your energy. Like if you can rebound every day, that's awesome. Stay hydrated every day. You know, like I said, it's up to you and your willpower. And you got to love yourself through this process. Don't, don't be afraid to just go on walks and go take time for yourself. I know it's tough with the family and you got responsibilities and things. I'm just saying you got to kind of make some priority shifts here a little bit, because the more energy that you have, the more energy you're going to have for your kids and your family and so on. So it's just one of those things too. Your kids are going to love it once they get juicing and all that stuff. This is a family thing. You don't have to just go do your own thing either. I'm just saying you got to just embrace it wholeheartedly, and slowly but surely these little incorporations over time, you start having some teas, making tonics, getting on the herbs, getting on the high fruit, and you're going to speed this stuff up. That's all I look at this, because right now, again, your organs are working, but they're not 100%. I would say they're maybe even 10 or 20%, So it's one of those things where you got to crank that dial up as far as detoxification, which, yes, you already said it, rebounding, that's going to get your kidneys going. You need to sweat, do whatever it takes. I know you have a bath or a shower, just turn that thing up and sweat, get that thing moving, and do this every single day. And again, work with yourself though. If you feel like you're detoxing too much, because I understand your toxic load, then slow down a little bit. This is just going to be up to you and your willpower. I really believe in the slow, steady approach, because that's the long term for the rest of your life, rather than like slingshot effect, which is like people doing these short cleanses and things, and then they're right back into all the toxicity, So absolutely. Just take your time, work with it, work with your body. You're doing great. I can already tell, like I said, you're filtering. This eye almost looks green because of the way you took the lighting. And that's why I know you have a blue eye, because this is the next phase. You're going to go from this more dark brown, I can already see a little bit of green in there, to more a light green like this. And then you're going to transition to a straight blue eye like this. And I'm in the same boat as you. I've been doing this work for a long time, and I'm just happy that I've been taking pictures, because the results have been profound. And that's really what it takes. I mean, I love looking at different eyes and things, but you see, it's really, everybody's different, and it's completely unique to the individual. So for you, I wouldn't be too worried about anything in particular. It's because when you do even rebounding, your body is really smart, and it's going to know where to address the protocols. So all you have to do is focus on the day to day. That's it.
Okay.
All right, Lisa, any questions? Any other questions or anything for me?
No, I don't. I really appreciate your time. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by it.
Yeah, I don't want to turn anybody down. I want to do free readings like this, and I'm here for you if you want to shoot me an email later on and just be like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Does this work? Does it? I'm here for you. I just want to keep this open, and this video is going to inspire others. Like I said, the more you can just focus on your iridology and take these pictures and see the progress, you're really going to learn the most as far as what's going on in the body.
Yeah.
How much I've learned from this, and I'm just excited to share it with others, because you could be doing all these crazy protocols and seeing health coaches and stuff, but really, if you just target these little areas in your life and then look at that over like 6 months, the results will be there. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you're welcome. Happy Mother's Day again. Thank you so much. Taking the time, and appreciate it, and I'm here for you. Like I said, just email me or drop me a message. Okay, sounds good. Enjoy the rest of your night. Yeah, you too. Thanks.